Jiang. The stray dog could no longer bear life on the mountain and chose to flee. After a day and night of heart hurt, he finally returned to the city, arriving once more before his master's door. He barked twice. Dad. Mom. The door opened. The two masters were overjoyed. Little dad, we've searched everywhere for you. Where have you been all these months? The other scolded. We gave you just 2 slaps and you ran off. Hating you is loving you, don't you know? Who else would correct your endless bad habit? The dog said nothing. There was no point in explaining. His masters wouldn't understand anyway. Did you really think you hit me lightly? He thought. But the worst part was the injustice of wronging a dog far smarter than yourselves. Just because I'm a dog and you're human, you think stupidity can bully intelligence. The masters quickly ushered him inside. Seeing his paws bleeding, they cried out in alarm. Where have you come from? Look at how thin you've gotten these past months. They rushed to fetch medicine and began smearing it onto his wounds. He knew perfectly well the medicine was long expired. A dab of salt water would have worked better, but what could he do? Being a dog meant submission. No matter how much wiser he was, he had to endure their treatment. After applying the ointment, they found a strip of cloth and tightly bandaged his paws. He wanted to resist, but seeing the tenderness in their eyes, he couldn't bring himself to wound their kindness. Inwardly, he sighed. Oh, how foolish these masters are. Covering a wound won't heal it. It'll only rot. Sunlight is the best antiseptic, but there was no use. He resolved to kick the bandages off later, when they weren't looking. Then they brought out the old dog food, the kind he used to hate, so tasteless and hard to swallow. Though he loathed it from the bottom of his heart, he pretended to be ravenous, gobbling down a few mouthfuls. The master sighed. Look at you, out there. You must have suffered so much. The other snapped. Next time you run off, you'll starve to death. Now do you understand the warmth of home? He leaned his head gently against the master's knee. The master stroked his fur. Be good. If you're good, life will be good. Don't sneak out when we're not looking. Isn't home better? Don't we treat you well? The dog licked the hand that petted him and thought, You're just a little stupid. Otherwise, nothing much to complain about. You're 20 times better than those wild dogs up the mountain.
At dinner, the masters laid out a feast and let him sit at the table, perched on a chair, equal to a human. They kept piling ribs and meatballs onto his plate. He mused. Human masters are indeed better than dog masters. Only a bit foolish. I can smell this pork isn't fresh. These meatballs, full of harmful ingredients, and that aftertaste clearly made with gutter oil. Yet the masters eat with such delight, sweating from their brows, exclaiming, so delicious, so good. Years from now, when their bodies fail, they'll go to the hospital, be told they have cancer, weep and wail as if the sky has fallen, and hand over every last coin to the doctors. In the end, they'll buy an expensive plot in a cemetery and bury themselves there. Yet on his face, he wore a look of pure joy, gnawing eagerly at the meatballs, solely to win their affection. As more dishes arrived, he caught another foul scent. The cooking oil was laced with human fat. During his time living near the cemetery, a fellow stray dog named B had taught him to recognize the smell, stench wafting from behind the crematorium wall. Inside, he sighed again. You keep me as a pet, control me, scold me for this and that. But in truth, I know far more than you do. I know many of you eat people. Right now, I'm eating people too. Not that I want to, but you yourself offer me the oil from your dead and demand I eat it. Can I refuse? If I do, I lose your favor. After the meal, the family took him for a walk. When the masters weren't looking, he quietly vomited part of what he'd eaten and kicked off the tattered bandages. He felt much lighter. They walked the same bumpy, rubble-strewn path as always. This time, he made no sound. The way to live with foolish masters was simple. Understand everything, but go along with them. Who made the rules? Not wisdom birth. He was born a dog. They, humans, no changing that. If he resisted, he'd be beaten again. Truth is often beaten down. Back home, the master noticed the bandage had fallen off. Why did it come off? Quick, find another and rewrap it. Inwardly, the dog cursed. Fools can't blame dogs. Let them have their way. Who else could be my master? Who else treats me so kindly? They turned on the TV and flicked to those lowbrow channels. Circuses, trained monkeys, loud mouths arguing, endless violence. The family laughed, listened intently, or raged in outrage. He sat beside them, pretending to watch, but thought, if I could stand upright and speak human words, I could direct all these shows myself. He didn't want to keep staring at the screen with them. He turned his head and gazed out the window at the dim crescent moon. Suddenly, he missed life on the mountain. There, though dominated by the big wild dog, freedom was greater. He could run wild, bark freely, by day, bathe in sunlight, by night, admire the moon. Even if the big dog monopolized the females, he could at least stand far away and drool in longing. Here, he never even saw a female dog. Each outing was like a prisoner's brief yard time. Once in 10 trips, he might glimpse a female only to be called back the moment he tried to approach. And up the mountain, he wouldn't have to eat this garbage every day. Food so foul, it made him want to vomit, forcing him to hide it from his masters. Staring at the moon, he felt endless regret. Outside, you long for the inside. Inside, you long for the outside. It was all the same. Then a poem rose to his dog's mind. Memory's a cultural affairs official, once driven from his home by his shopkeeper wife. When the dog had fled his master's house, starving and homeless, he often wandered to the man's backyard. The man would invite a few friends under his grape arbor to drink and recite poetry. The dog would sit outside the fence, waiting for them to toss him a bone. Over time, he was almost cultured into a literary dog. Now, he whispered aloud, when will the bright moon appear? I raised my cup and asked the sky. The master suddenly barked. What are you barking about? We're watching something good. The rest of the verse choked back into his throat. That scolding made him seriously consider a second escape.